Hey there, BookTube. Noah. Everyone who reads and must converses the channel. Thanks for coming back by. Faulkner in August is on. Faulkner in August is a reading challenge that goes on every single year, and it is simply we choose to read a book by William Faulkner. I am very happy to say that I am in on this year, and not just in on it, but kind of hosting it. So this is my first video to really get something out there, and I'm actually going to go through the halfway point of Sanctuary. I've read up to the halfway point, chapter 18. I've finished chapter 18. So this is up to the beginning of chapter 19. Now, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to talk about the book, what I think Faulkner is doing. It is going to be, I'm going to talk freely about plot and things like that in a way of exploring what Faulkner is doing, but I'm not going to give hard spoilers. I wouldn't know what they are at this point, anyways, to tell you the truth. Sanctuary is a very different book than what I have come in contact with from William Faulkner. I have read As I Lay Dying earlier this year. What an amazing experience that was. It's an amazing book. And The Sound and the Fury just last month, and that is an amazing book. William Faulkner is an amazing writer. And some of the attributes of William Faulkner that make him an amazing writer is how poetic he is. His writing is beautiful, very image heavy, sensory heavy, smells, tastes, visuals on none less than visuals, but also tangible. Everything is very tangible. It's an amazing experience to read some Faulkner because you can see it more vividly than a lot of other writers. You can see it, you can feel it, you can smell it. It's an amazing thing. And his subject matter is not pleasant. It's human. It's inherently human, but not pleasant is what it's coming down to. You're not meeting people. There's not a likable characters in Faulkner. Not many, anyways. Of course, who doesn't like a child? Children children feature prominently in Faulkner's work, I think, because you can't pull the children out of the human experience, right? Things like that. Um, but very dark Southern Gothic done in uh, an exemplary way. It is dark Southern Gothic, perfected. It's very, very good from what I have seen. Now, like I said, Sanctuary is a very different book than As I Lay Dying or The Sound and the Fury. In what way? The Sanctuary is more of a straightforward narrative than The Sound and the Fury and As I Lay Dying, and maybe more of a straightforward narrative than what Faulkner, you might say what Faulkner normally does. But from my experience, Faulkner is a master writer who actually writes his books and is not concerned with some kind of regular normal, quote unquote normal narrative delivery. He wants to blow your mind. He wants to put you in a place where you are out of your comfort zone, out of your element, and reaching for meaning and trying to figure out why someone has the motivations to do what it is that they have done just then on the page. Um, from the way I see it, and in Sanctuary as well, what Faulkner does is he fully realizes a character or a group of characters in his mind, and maybe might have things written and notes and things like this. Sure, have a fully realized characters, but then for the story, he'll just drop you in with those characters in a certain situation and let them play that out. So you don't get to know what a character's motive, what a character's backstory is why they are the way that they are, or even how they are. You don't get to know how they are before you see them act, before you uh, hear them speak. You get that stuff first. So you see people act and you hear them speak. And then from that, you infer all these things: what kind of life they have lived, what kind of person that they are, and all that kind of thing. In Sanctuary, we have a very varied cast of characters. We have a um, a couple who is not a very strong couple. It is a college student, a young girl, 17, 18 years old, perhaps, named Temple Drake, and then Gowan Stevens, I believe is his last name. That we're going out, Temple jumps out of, kind of sneaks out of her dormitory and meets up with Gowan, jumps in his car, and they go off on a date one night, right? And through a twist of events, Gowan gets drunk, like gets really drunk, and he is driving and slams into this tree that has been felled across the road. And when he slams into this tree, it turns his car over, and him and Temple are out in a country road with their car broken down, and they are hurt. And they're not hurt badly, but they're not having a pleasant night or a pleasant day. It's early in the evening. So they get kind of brought in by these guys that are close to this felled tree. And one of the guys actually felled the tree. And there is a reason for that. These guys that take them in, Popeye is a main guy. Lee Goodwin is another main guy. Ruby is a woman who is at this house. She has a child who she's keeping in a box behind the stove, young infant that never cries and never does anything. It's a very sad situation. And then a couple of younger guys, it seems, Van and Johnny, or Tommy, sorry, Van and Tommy, who are actually kind of, just younger guys that are there kind of helping. Well, this house is just a piece of crap, totally dilapidated, nothing fixed, everything broken down. The whole field around this house, which is like a giant plantation, is all in, just wild growth. So they're not growing anything. They're not doing anything. What are they doing? Well, they're moonshiners. They were going out towards this place, Gowan and Temple, to buy alcohol. This is like prohibition era United States in the South. And this group of individuals has a still out in the woods. They are brought into this house, and Gowan is in over his head, not really knowing exactly what to do or how to do it, anyways. And Temple is completely, as she should be, afraid, very afraid. And Gowan has been not only hurt from the car accident, but continues to get drunk and continues to provoke these guys, and they're provoking him, and he keeps getting beat up, and it goes downhill from there. Suffice it to say that when at the point that I'm at, halfway through this story now, I don't know where our main characters are. They are Gowan has like left Temple, which is ridiculous. Left her. It seems like he's a little out of his wits, just he's been drinking hard and heavy for too long, and he's had his butt kicked more than a couple of times, and he's not really thinking clearly, but that's not really an excuse, is it? And Temple has been taken away from the house by one of the most hardcore of the men that live there, Popeye, and that and what is in store for them, I'm not really sure. This is a really intriguing, suspenseful, fast read. I mean, I've read half of this thing in less than a week. It is very, very fast, very dark, very high tension, and I'm really on the hook for it. Can't wait to see where this goes, and I will be finishing it probably within the next week because, um, it just is that kind of read. Much, much more accessible than other Faulkners like the other two that I have mentioned, but also um, just as uh, beautiful as far as the language is concerned, and just as dark as far as the subject matter is concerned as any others that Faulkner has put together. This turn, whatever wherever we're going with this, I'm sure is a shocker. So if it is something where you want to pick up some Faulkner, this might be a good place to start as far as accessibility of easy reading. But I really enjoyed As I Lay Dying probably more than anything that I've read in a long time. It's an amazing book. So I would say to go for Faulkner in the way of, don't be intimidated. Just go for it. Faulkner is an amazing writer. And that's it for Faulkner in August, the first part of Sanctuary. Let me know what you guys think and catch you on the next one, BookTube. Bye bye.